This is Dance Dish, and my name is Helene Phillips.
I'm Shaun Earl,
and I'm Comfort Fedoke.
Yeah. First of all, Shaun could probably tell the whole story about you.
So you think you can dance?
Yeah. But
I mean,
I'll let the two of you.
I knew you before that.
I know.
So I was just proud to see. Plus, I think I'm around a lot of people that are, I'm gonna say haters, but also people that aren't thorough haters because they just take a nip from it and then the rumors start. Yeah. And I'm thorough because I watch everything.
Come on. Yes,
and what I like about the show is that it forces everyone to dance different genres.
Right.
And coming from where I came from, I was an imitator anyway. So being blissful in my ignorance, I just copied.
Yeah.
So it was a good exercise for me, not knowing any better.
Yeah.
To then be able to do all types of genres in my career without saying I'm only in this lane and I only dance on Soul Train so I can do the robot. You know what I mean? So it made me just do movement as a whole. So you were a living example of that.
For me and my audience, let's hear the beginning. I want the journey.
Yes.
Wow.
What was the audition process just to get on the show? Because we see it as an audition.
Okay.
But I'm sure there's much more.
Yeah, no, okay, so taking it all the way back when I was about 19 years old and I auditioned for the show, it was really honestly out of nowhere because we had nothing to lose. My dance brothers would be like Al, rest in peace, Disco Rashad, and DeMarcus, Next Level, Corey Smith. Like we all were like a part of this crew called Track Team. So I'm from Dallas, Texas originally, and that's where the audition was. And so we were kind of our own little superstars back then because we had a show called Dance Club 21, which is very similar to Dance 360 in Los Angeles at that time. Do y'all remember that show?
Was it on TV?
It was a television show. Like it was like, I think Kel Mitchell was like the host.
Wow.
It was like tag your man. I don't know, I'm dating myself maybe. I don't
know. No, because
yikes. It was a show when I was
the
younger.
youngest person here.
Well, I'm just saying, but in the sense of it, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But it was a show in Dallas called Dance Club 21, and so I became a part of that show, and we got really popular, little local TV stars. So we was like, couldn't nobody tell us nothing in Dallas. Couldn't tell me nothing, because I was crazier than I am right now. So, but then I didn't get to go to the school that I wanted to go to. I wanted to go to Cal Arts.
Yeah.
Okay. And I went to Booker T. Washington and performing arts school, but I only went there for a couple of years, and I was there for dance. And so I had like a little bit of dance underneath my belt.
Yeah.
Even though I was street dancing and I was battling and I was part of this dance crew, and it was just like, that was really my life.
Yeah.
And so when I didn't get to the school that I wanted to go to, I went to school for something completely different and just kind of taught and battled and did all these different things, whatever. So You Think came around, and my brothers was like, my god brothers were like, yo, we ain't got nothing to lose. Like, nothing comes to Dallas. Like, you still got your little tondus and stuff. Like, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know. Yeah.
All right. From that school I went to.
School I went to. Shout out to Booker T. Washington. Black Academy. Woo-hoo.
Hey, right. So that's good. That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I just went there so I can get into that school. So I had to get to Booker T. Washington. You had to train and you had to audition technically.
Right.
So I went to 5 different high schools and one of them that I had to go to prior to getting hopefully accepted to Booker T.
Okay.
So that was like my journey in that aspect. So it wasn't ever grew up dancing and training. I just took certain classes and crash courses here and there because I got hurt running track. I was a track star.
Okay.
And so that's where I was like,
your athleticism
that's where my athletics. So I was a track star. Like that was my thing. I was gonna go to the Olympics. I was getting scouted in 7th grade. Like we beat records in the 7th, 8th grade. Like we was crazy. But dance was just the next best thing, right? But anyways, got to the audition process of the show. I think they were looking for crazy at that time. They were already looking for personality. Yeah. I think they were just looking for like the energy. I think I was very lucky to be in that time, in that space, because I think that's what they were looking for at that time, was that personality. Yeah. And honestly, I got on the show. I even told them, "Are you sure?"
Right. Like
I was like, "Are y'all sure?"
Well, wait.
Is it real?
Hold on. So, and just you, or you and your?
No, my godbrothers didn't make it. They didn't make it on the show. I was the only one that ended up making it out of them. They were very happy for me, and it was a whole thing, whatever. But I was the only one from like us that went to go audition.
So the audition that we actually do see on TV, it's just edited.
It's just edited. So
that is the actual audition when they can see. Okay.
Yeah. So that was my actual audition, and then that was when Nigel was like, "Oh,
I think you're the best female hip hop dancer we've had on the program."
And I was like, "Oh, cool." Yeah.
Right.
And so that's when that was happening, and they didn't really show my experience completely
storyline
like that. So no one really understood my storyline to that extent, other than what Nigel had said, and you know, Debbie Allen and whoever else came on there and said their piece about my journey as you would see little things and choreography down and stuff. But so by the time I actually got on the show, I think personally, this is how TV works. Once I've learned TV, I was just kind of painted as the underdog. So I was always at the bottom.
Well,
fighting
it's
for her
not
life.
one time besides that one time, which was top when it was like the top 20, and it was everyone was seeing each other, and I got on the show and I was like, oh my God, I'm on television. You know, whatever the case may be. My first dance was the jive with Chris, and I was in bra, panties, and beads. That's what I told you.
Oh my God.
I was like, I've never been this unclothed in my life.
Wow.
I was like, I have bra, panties, and beads on. And so
do you remember
like,
any of the steps?
Yeah, I was like shaking like this. And I felt like Tina Turner. This was my move here.
And was that in the ballroom dance
That
category?
that was a jive. Yeah. So we did the jive.
You were pinned as the underdog.
Yeah.
Is that something that you just felt, or it's like
no,
known
I think even people would start to categorize me as that.
Oh, wow.
As the show went on, people were like, oh, because I was always at the bottom.
Because when they vote,
Wow.
the
When
audience
they
votes,
vote.
whatever, and then they're at the bottom too, and they have to
Yeah,
dance.
so it was always at the bottom, and so whoever I guess my partner was, either the judges was always saying something about my partner and not necessarily about me, or whatever the case
Chemistry.
may
But it was
be,
bringing
this or this
okay.
or whatever
Wow.
the case may have been, and then so it was constantly fighting for your life. So when you're at the bottom, you always have to dance for your life. So I found myself always dancing for my life, always having a new partner.
Yeah.
Because they switch out.
But we at that time in the top 20, then they actually kept your partners if you were really aligned with their partners and no one got kicked out. But since my partners sometimes would get kicked out, then I would end up having like a new partner or you know, whatever the case may have ended up being. But yeah, and so my journey honestly was
And
just
you kept going.
I kept going.
She kept fighting.
I kept fighting.
Yeah.
I was like, bump it. Like this was my first time ever competing at this type of world. I don't come from that world.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids came from competition.
Yeah, they're competition
and
kids.
competition kids.
They have their solos
Well,
already.
They have their solos.
Like
and
when we
this.
teach.
Yeah, like
That's
when
where
we
you
teach,
understood
like
working.
when we teach at He and being able to judge that. I didn't come from such a polished space. I came from like being able to have certain opportunities.
Yeah.
But like not like everyone else that was on the show. Like
Yeah.
that, you know?
So would you have to make up your own stuff? Because like people
During the-
had like choreography where I'm like, how do people just have solos?
Yeah,
But then when you had to fight for your life,
I just kind of just freestyled.
Freestyled all the time, okay.
I just freestyled. I didn't
Right.
really
'Cause
know
we
about
watch
giving
solos.
ourselves choreography. Like in my head, I would remember like certain set things or whatever, the music that we got to choose or something like that.
And you know
but to
that.
me, I was just kind of just freestyling and just going off the top of my head and just feeling the music and just allowing myself just to be taken there.
So when you're doing something like that, it's not like someone is watching the rehearsal and saying, yes, do that, or...
Well, sometimes Jeff Thacker was our producer for the show, and Jeff Thacker would, a lot of times, if someone had a piece that was choreographed, he'll come in and be like, oh, maybe not that song, or try this, or maybe this, or make sure the camera, you're trying to kind of keep us aligned with what we're trying to do.
Okay.
For us with freestyling, he'll just kind of just say, just keep your personality going or moving or something. But there was someone there that Jeff Thacker would be a lot of the times to be someone who would speak to us or give us his opinion, because he always has an opinion.
Yeah.
I love me some Jeff.
And it's an episode per week. On top of sometimes they have to learn production numbers.
Yeah.
On top of their
we had to
competition
learn.
numbers.
We had to learn our duet, our opening, our closing, then our solos.
And all this is in a week?
In a week.
And this is, and then we had to learn all of this choreography with our duets in like 5 hours, 5.5 hours all together.
And you work on it on your own, but
And
that's
you
how
work-
we feel.
Wow.
A lot of work in a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. And then so I was season 4. I was season
Still
4.
pretty early,
Yeah, I was season 4, and season 4 is when we had like the show and then Elimination. We had two shows a week, so 2 nights a week. So we had our Mondays that we did the show and you saw it and you voted, and then Wednesday when you got voted out and and we did like a group number.
And that's when I was proud, because knowing her from before and then seeing her still hang in all the categories.
Yeah.
So how long was that? How long did that last?
So when I made it to the top 12, that's when I got kicked off. And I was like, you know what, good riddance. It was a great time.
Peace
and
out.
you know, peace out. We had to do like television, all these little talks. We had to talk to a psychologist to make sure we were okay.
Oh my God.
All the different things.
Wow,
It
that's
was,
Wow.
yeah,
nice. I didn't
that's
know
what they
that.
have. They have for us.
Some
They have a
people take it harder.
psychologist, and I was just talking to him like, yeah, I'm good, my breath is
Yeah.
fine, my breathing is okay.
Right.
Wow.
You know, so you know, we had to go through that, and then I was in the hotel getting ready to go. I think I was supposed to leave the next day. My dad calls me, and my dad, he was like, I don't know, something. I feel like your journey is not ending. And I was like, Dad, I'm going home.
Yeah.
Right.
I just got off
Done.
the interview.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
I went through therapy.
I went through
I
therapy.
just talked to the shrink. Yeah.
Just talk to a shrink.
It's final.
I'm going home.
Right.
Oh my
But my
God.
dad was like, no. See, like my nickname is CEO. So he was like, CEO, no, something is not done
Yeah.
with you.
Wow.
And it manifested.
And literally, I promise you that maybe like an hour later, maybe, I'll say an hour just for the story. But an hour later, I get a call from Jeff Thacker saying, have you left yet? Have you left yet? And I'm like, no, I'm still at the hotel. And he was like, well, we might need you to come back to the show. And I was like, what's going on? He said, we'll tell you when you get here. So the next morning I get back and had to come back to the show and ended up, sadly, but you know, a blessing in disguise off of someone else's demise technically.
Yeah.
But like my good friend, Jessica King, she ended up having to take herself out of the show because she ended up having a broken rib.
Oh God.
And so she couldn't dance that week. And then so I had to be brought back to take her place.
Oh my.
And so she had to make a whole announcement that she couldn't, perform.
Yeah.
And so they brought me back to actually come back to be in the competition and
Oh
like,
my God.
in general. And so then I ended up having my dance with Stephen Twitch Boss. Rest in peace, my love. And that was the piece that we did it was called Forever. And that was the piece that I did with him. And then we did another like smooth waltz piece. And then I ended up staying for a whole nother week. They didn't vote me out. That was the next time that I wasn't, there was the one other
Not
time.
underdogging, right?
Not underdogging and not at the bottom, but it was also because it was such a divine moment
Yeah.
in space of time. It was the first time they had two, people who were doing hip hop together.
Yeah.
And so I made it through the next
Wow.
round and I made it to the top 10 and that's what made me be able to be actually on the tour as an actual
Oh, okay.
person.
Wow.
If that didn't happen, then I would have been like a swing or a possible person.
And that's how it goes rank-wise. You get to a certain.
Once you get past the certain.
Once you get past a
tour.
certain place, you get to be on tour.
Wow.
That was even with American Idol when you get
Yeah.
Oh, and then when you go on tour, it's set choreography.
fanfare.
Yeah, and
The
then so when
numbers
it's
from
on
the show?
tour, it's all the numbers from the show.
Oh.
So there's already fanfare because people already like it.
Yeah, and they love what you do.
And
and-
so we were selling out. I'm talking about arenas.
Wow.
It was kind
Now,
of
there's pay for
crazy.
that too, right?
And there was pay for that. This was
that's
our
a
first
gig.
time. That was a gig. That was for sure. That was the most money I ever seen in my life as a 19, 20-year-old.
Right.
I was like, what?
Now, did you get the gist? Because there's a lot of people like us that have graced the screen
Mm-hmm.
and reruns and videos and all that. I used to laugh because I watched and I was like, they get to become stars in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you got into the real world, you're gonna have to back up Britney and then be like
Yes,
back to the real world.
right.
'cause
You
we're
went from
never
being a
name
brand,
when
right?
you're
You went from being a brand of your own to
then
being
5, 6,
someone
7,
else's.
8. Put on the duck
artist.
costume,
Yeah.
start quacking. You know what I mean? Because,
Yeah.
but it was a different order because
Yeah, it was
nobody
a
knew
different
your
order.
name.
Yeah.
But they,
We walked
They
in
were-
already knowing people knowing our names.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that
for
was,
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like casting directors or things like that.
You're already known.
Yeah.
And then they started having alumni come because they'll team up with the
Right.
dancers that are competing.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
then it still kept coming. Like she.
Well, how long was the tour?
We did a full state tour over, honestly, almost all 50 states, I feel like.
Oh,
Like,
my
was it a
we-
summer gig or
It was
was
a
it during
summer.
the-
Yeah, it was during the summer. Yeah. And we
that's
did like
nice.
and we did a whole, I feel like that was about 3 months, I want to say.
Wow.
And then that's what made me move to Los Angeles. And then I became roommates with, it was me, Courtney, at the time, Courtney Galliano, she's now Courtney Platt, and Katie Sheen and Chelsea Hightower was my
four of you,
roommates.
yeah.
The four of us were roommates.
So how long did it take before they started adapting the alumni to start dancing?
Season 7 was the time when they did All Stars. And so by that time I was already like working and doing my
Yeah.
own thing and figuring the life out of
In LA.
living in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And so then they asked, Jeff Thacker asked me, he was like, hey, we're doing this thing. Would you like to come in as a representation for hip hop? So you'll come in as our hip hop All Stars. So we're
Wow.
doing All Stars. And I was like,
Sure.
And that's pay. That's
Oh,
money.
and now we're
Now
that's
you're
a
getting
full
paid.
pay.
Oh,
Well, that's
okay.
like now me being brought in under a SAG-AFTRA contract.
Oh,
Like
okay.
that's me now being brought in as a union and me being paid
Okay.
as
And
a
her
baton.
brand and
And
everything.
brand and being so it was a different coming in. So
Yeah.
after that we became like little judges and we got to pick people and we got to dance with them and compete and it just
Oh,
turned
wow.
into all different things every
Wow.
single season. And so I pretty much grew up on that show.
Yeah.
So like from
training
beginning to
ground.
end, how like a year, 2 years, how much of your life was So You Think You Can Dance?
Many years.
Many years.
Many years.
Uh-huh.
Many years. So
Wow.
from season 4, I came in as a contestant. Season 7 to season 18.
Kept coming in.
Oh my
So
God.
season
As a guest.
18 as a
So
as
really
an all-star,
the-
but this last season, season 18,
She
I
got
became
to
a judge.
be the judge. Full
I was a
circle.
judge this last
Wow.
With
season.
the
Yeah.
new
A guest
version.
judge. Yeah, with the new version. guest
Definitely the
And you
gift
helped
they
pick-
kept giving.
judge. Yeah.
So I'm saying that's
It was a
like,
book full
up until
circle.
now. Yeah, full circle.
It was a full
Wow.
circle. Yeah.
To her auditioning people.
That's
Yeah, to meet and audition
amazing.
people and
Kudos
stuff.
for that.
Underdog to All-Star.
Underdog to all-star to judge.
That's right.
All right,
That
so
was
now I
amazing.
want to switch to Missy Elliot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
which
how did- was
seems
that in
like you've
between
got
your
a
little
lot of
break?
story.
Yes. So Missy Elliott has been gone for a long time at that point. Like
Yeah.
we didn't hear from Missy Elliott.
Yeah.
So by 2012, I think I was, if I'm honest, and I'm gonna be very transparent with how my journey from So You Think into being a dancer. I did call myself a dance artist then because I didn't really know what that meant just yet. But being a dancer in the industry,
Yeah.
it was very extremely hard. A lot of people were like, "Oh, since you came from the show and you should have a name already." I was still having to fight for like myself and my worth, or being the black girl, the token black girl
Yeah.
in certain jobs, or being typecast because I had to go against all. It was just. This was a whole new world for me. I'm a girl from Dallas. I was like, what is this? Like, what is this world, this typecasting world? And this,
But you
it's
know
not
what?
about this. It was just such a new experience.
Let me
for
interject.
Yeah.
Only because I'm always trying to find like for the audience to relate.
Yes.
And it's another thing that dancers are always, and I think entertainers in general, we feel that, are we the only ones feeling this? And
Yeah.
that person is always working and I'm working so hard and nothing's happening and why am I having to struggle so much? But the truth is, even the people that we're thinking are flying
Yeah.
are struggling.
Yeah.
And that work is always going.
Proving
Always.
ourselves.
It's so good to hear that you're saying that.
Because that's
Yeah.
not even what people think after you guys get off of that show.
No one
No.
thinks anything.
They think
Yeah.
what they
no
only
one
hear.
thinks. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're working, you're doing this," and I'm like, "No, I am constantly fighting for a spot."
Yeah.
And
yeah.
anything, whatever it is, whoever it is. But I think
Yeah.
it was my first time taking on that encounter and realizing that it's not about my talent, more so than the casting of my talent.
Yeah.
And it's
Period.
just about casting. Like, are you the look that they're looking for?
That's
and so
right.
I think I had to understand that
Yeah.
in the process. And so I felt like I was losing myself in that process, if I'm honest.
And
And
so
was
that's
that-
in the middle of all
And
this.
that's
That was
the
from
middle.
2000.
That was from
episode 4
Yes,
to
yeah,
7.
that was like, so that was 09 to 2012.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
Before they started having All-Stars.
Yeah, before they, like, up until like when they're starting having All-Stars.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, okay, what is I used to freestyle and battle people all the time. Now I'm just over here trying to like do choreography.
Yeah.
Do auditions. I was
Right.
like losing myself
Yeah.
into this like small thing. And so I decided, I was like, you know what? So I ended up being a part of a crew. So I got part of a dance, like a street battle crew called
Oh, okay.
Styles Play.
All right.
A guy named Showtime, a mentor, legend, honestly, in the dance game. His name is Showtime. And he put me a part of his crew called Styles Play. And so it was a battle crew, which is all different disciplines with his house. If you don't know what battling and styles and different disciplines, it was like house dancing, popping and locking, and obviously the hip hop foundations
That's
and all
my,
this different stuff.
That's
Come on.
my lane.
Yeah, come on, yeah. Where we got to train with like the Electric Boogaloos and Tony Basil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
that was good training.
So that was good training. So I
before
needed
you
that.
came back to the show again.
Yeah. So I was like, I needed to be like immersed
Yeah.
in style. You know what I mean? I was losing myself in conforming.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to find myself
Yeah.
again. So being back in that crew like that, where I'm
That was a
training,
blessing.
it was
Amazing.
incredible. It was
Yeah.
lovely. So I say that to say that by that time, 2012, when I was losing myself in what it is who I want to dance for. Like, there's no one really that makes me. I'm just doing it for the check
Yeah.
at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, what am I? You know, because you have to do that for the
That's the
check,
living.
but you just don't have the energy anymore.
Passion.
And then there was an audition cattle call, Missy Elliot.
Whoa.
Cattle called Missy Elliot, and I was like,
Right.
she hasn't been back since Lose Control by that time. We haven't seen her since Lose Control.
Right. And she uses dancers. Like,
she uses,
really
but she is an artist. Like she just like individuality. Yeah.
You're not like booty by the pool.
No, she was just like innovation, right? Just all about like who you are as an individual, as a dance, you know. So anyways, so it's audition, but it's a cattle call.
Yeah.
We know what a cattle call
Yes.
is.
Yeah, everybody.
You know, everybody named
1,000 million people are in a cattle call.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, imagine.
Everybody.
Everyone and their mom.
Everybody
And it was no like private call with agents. It was just.
It was a mixture of agents, calls, your mama, your cousin. Like, it was
but they're going to see everybody no matter what,
right? See everybody. And it was at Debbie Reynolds, actually.
Okay. Oh, and that's the big spot. Yeah.
Yeah, it was at Debbie Reynolds, if I can remember. I believe so.
Well, I mean, every cool
every
event
legendary
audition was at Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds. Yeah.
Wow.
All love to Debbie's Reynolds.
Right.
I got in there, and everyone was saying that Missy's in there, hi-hat's in there, like everyone's in there, like they're there. And I was like, all right. And I came in and I realized, I was like, no, I have nothing to lose. I've now built all this like energy of my confidence and my whatever just
the timing was perfect.
You know, the timing was so perfect. I'm in my bag. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go in there with mad personality. I'm gonna go in there singing the song, going crazy, getting everybody energized. I'm like Missy, Missy, you know what I mean? That was her energy. So anyways, so we did the audition.
So there was choreography taught?
There was choreography taught. We learned to get your freak on.
Oh.
And
I love that. Yeah.
We learned Get Your Freak On as the audition piece.
Do you remember any of it?
Right.
Oh, I'm doing it every day now. But and so you know how the audition works.
But were you feeling that it was good for you?
Oh,
were you
I felt
feeling
great.
Like
I was in her eyes.
Yeah.
I was like in their eyes.
Yeah.
I was in a certain bag. I was in an artist bag. You know what I mean? So anyway, out of all of that, you know, they, you know, do your callbacks and your process, elimination, blah, 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 blah. And then you wait, of course. Waited. Got the call to come, and she picked me. But I was the only one she picked out of Los Angeles.
Oh my God.
And I found that later. That out later. They were like, Cover, did you know that you were the only one she picked?
Wow.
From LA.
From LA. I was like, out of all those people? She was like, yeah. You're the only one she picked.
Who told you this? Your agent or?
My agent and then Missy, because then Missy starts talking to me, and that's when Missy and I got really close after that. She brought me to New York with her, and then we ended up finding more dancers. I was like, well, I'm so curious, like, you know why, and this, and later on she told me, she was like, you're the only one who was different. Like everyone was out there to look like everyone else and each other, and I needed I needed someone who stood out and was an artist in their own right. Yeah. And I can feel their artistry on stage with me. Yeah. So that's why you're with me. And so from there, I was with her on everything.
Doing what exactly?
Yeah.
Was it a tour?
I ended up doing Black Girls Rock was our first performance that we did in New York.
And that was what the audition was initially for?
That was the audition for him. Yep, that's what the audition was initially for. And then from there, and then we ended up, like I said, she didn't find anybody from Los Angeles. She found people in New York. So she decided to go to New York and find people in New York.
And you were with her for that process?
Yeah. And it was, the whole, the whole thing.
She just took you under her wing?
Me and her other person that she brings in with her all the time, Blair Christian, we just kind of I was a little fly on the wall. I was just kind of there. Just learned and watched and saw and went on tour with her, did all of her music videos. So every music video she has done now, from this point on, I've been with Missy. Yeah, I was with Missy. And then after a while, my life, switched and moved into other things. And so I had to dance with her for a while. But
the
relationship still stays connected. But
then after that, that's when the Alumni All-Stars happened? Or was that
simultaneous? That was simultaneously.
Because you came back.
Yeah.
I was already proud of you for the show itself, but when you came back as an all-star.
Yeah, by that time I think
you were sparkly beyond, like your glitter was seeping out of your pores.
By that time, I was already with Missy. I was already doing things.
You came back a new person, like you were. And there's some numbers that you did. There was one in front of the TV that you did. You were like, it was like this.
Oh yes. Chris Scott choreographed me and was it Cyrus? It was Cinema. It was a piece called Cinema. Oh. Yeah, where he was stuck in a television.
It was
that's
so
cool.
good, but it was just moments where I was like, I think I kept that on my DVR. Just like keep repeating, but like you.
I was, you know what?
Really
after that, like I think during that time, I feel like I'm trying to remember because that was around 2012 to 2013. I think it was like simultaneously because I feel like that was when So You Think decided to do All Stars, and that's when I started to do Missy.
Okay.
So I think it was like within those 2 years, those years. So Chris Scott was the choreographer for a lot of stuff that we were doing on So You Think. And a lot of choreographers, I think, I ended up fusing a lot of stuff with them. After a while, I just turned into a lot of their muses, if I'm honest. And even though I'm coming on as an all-star, I'm kind of coming on as a consultant in movement as well, choreographically, because due to the fact I do dance this style, and they want, you know, that extra help. And so I've been so thankful to work with, you know, some of the incredible choreographers up until me turning into that and being that for myself, and just being able to collaborate and helped a lot of them win their Emmys and this stuff, like, you know what I mean? Because I was part of it. It was really. It felt super honoring, like, to be able to do that. And so Chris Scott was someone that I ended up getting close with from the show. And because of the show. And so we've worked on little things here and there, or things he'd asked me to do and be a part of. So by, you know, I wasn't doing the show as much because I was getting busy with other work and other things. So I would come on the show every once in a while. They would always ask me, because a choreographer was like, is Comfort available? Can Comfort come in to do this dance with this kid? And I'm just like, I'm not. I can do one. It turned into me being there on all of the episodes, to me being there maybe 1 or 2 episodes here and there. But it was, you know, it was great to be able to always be brought back. And so Chris was someone that would always ask me outside of So You Think if I can come and assist him on something, or associate or co-choreograph or whatever. So we just built a relationship outside of the show. But he's also close friends and best friends with John Chu, who directed Wicked, but he's also, but how they started, so before we get to Wicked, is when they did LXD. So like Legendary Extraordinary Dancers was that big phenomenon where they made dancers superheroes. And so John Chu shot that. And so
that's how they got their relationship.
And that's how they, you know, that's how they built their relationship, and that's how, you know.
That was here, or was that?
Here. That's here, And I wasn't even in the States or California, but in that time. That was a while ago when they did those series, but it became a really popular YouTube series.
Wow.
Called,
that's
LXD.
amazing.
Which is why John Chu is so amazing at shooting dancers, because he collaborates with them, you know what I mean? And he appreciates them on such a level. So anyways, I worked with Chris a lot, and one day, after I did, I was just finishing up working on Hip Hop Nutcracker. It was like the Disney Plus film, Hip Hop Nutcracker. I choreographed on it, and I starred in it as Drosselmeyer, which was super exciting.
Was that your first acting debut?
No, I did a few acting debuts for it. I did Big Leap as an actress and choreographer on the Fox television show. I did some more stuff on Step Up, and so I've done like little, you know, things with acting, which I'm still trying to get into because I love it. So it's just been, you know, just here and there, just kind of finding different roles that either are dancing or not dancing or whatever, and just being able to, you know, add my expertise into those spaces, you know what I mean? And so I was just doing that, and so he had asked me if I was going to be around to be a part of a skeleton crew. Wow. Which I've done for Wicked. And so I was like, I'm around. I think I can. I have like a week that I'm not doing this that I can come into a rehearsal. So we did. That was in Los Angeles. That was in Los Angeles. This is before they even did. This is all pre-production. This is all pre-production for Wicked. So I came and helped and all stuff. It was not promised or anything like that, but I came and helped. And then so I think maybe I had finally just moved into, I was a nomad for a long time, because I just moved back from Chicago, working on the television show with him called The Big Leap. And I had stayed there in Chicago for a little bit because I was like, I kind of like Chicago until it got cold.
You're right.
And then I had to get out of there. And then so I had just was contemplating. I was a nomad. I was, you know, staying in people's houses, had my stuff in the storage. I was like, let me finally get a home. Let me get a place. Let me get an apartment. So I got a place in Echo Park. I was there maybe no more than 3 months. And then I get a call from him, and he was like, hey, would you ever move to London? And I was like, move. I mean, like, I'll go to London. You know, he was like, well, I would love for you to come to London, to work on Wicked. And I was like,
God.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Just let me know, so I can prepare myself. And when he was like, yeah, so, like this weekend?
Oh my God.
Echo Park and this weekend.
God.
What?
Oh.
Right.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's Monday.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
I was like, for how long? He was like, for a year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say no.
No.
But
Like, I want to
God.
stay in town and do a video
That's
for Missy
right.
for a month, right?
Oh
What?
my God.
Wow. A
But no,
year.
I was like, okay, you know what I mean? You know what? Like, let me get my life together real quick. Can I give you a call back? This is a lot to process.
Right.
Yeah.
And then of course I said yes to him, and I'm like, yeah, okay, dope, and we had to get like the visa stuff. We had to get understand with the COS because I had to get in there quickly. We had to start rehearsals right away. So it was like a whole process, and I don't think I packed the first 3 days. I was just sat there and was like, what do you pack for a year in 3 days?
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I'm a nomad. I'm naturally a nomad. I was like, Comfort, you knew not to get no apartment.
Right.
You tried. I tried it.
That's funny.
And
oh
so
my
yeah,
gosh.
and I upped and left to London and
Well, see, and it is such the nature of the beast in our business, and you just don't know when the hit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so the idea of like, when is it gonna come to me? Well, it feels much better to just believe that it's going to come to me as opposed to just staying depressed.
Right.
It's never going to come to me. That thought can't help anybody.
Right.
But we're never prepared for the hit. It just comes out of left field most of the time.
Most of the time it just does. But you know what? But it's also because I've never been a person that just kind of waited for things either. It's like you always have to kind of create your own destiny and you're in between
Move
your
forward.
path and build and create and stay grounded with the people and like-minded individuals that you want to just like. And so I've been blessed enough to always do that and always kind of have those relationships in some type of way, or building my own things in some type of way to kind of keep yourself busy or creative. And so when something does come around, you don't have to get ready because you're already ready for it in certain aspects, you know what I mean? So in that, obviously, perspective, that was a crazy way to get ready. And be like, in 2 days, let's, up and move. And you're like, you got to be down for that.
So now, were you behind the scenes in dancing as well, or just?
When he asked you, what did he ask you?
He asked me to come on as an associate choreographer. By that time, I was already in the space of being an associate choreographer. So he asked me to come in as an associate choreographer on the gig.
And how much time between the skeleton crew thing that you did prior to then him saying, "Come for a year"?
I feel like almost a month and a half had passed.
Okay. But no one said anything
No,
about
I didn't know
dates or
anything. I didn't know anything besides this call.
Wow.
I didn't know anything besides call. Like I was just getting off of, doing the Disney Plus movie. And I was just kind of at home getting my life, my new space together.
Right.
In Echo Park. And say the name of the movie again, the Disney one?
Oh, Hip Hop Nutcracker, Disney Plus.
Okay. And so then.
So then with Wicked, we
there.
know. And so can we see you dancing in it? Or
We all put ourselves in it.
Okay.
We all put ourselves in it for sure. So, but so Chris said himself that he wanted to specifically ask me because he knew that I was going to work really well with Cynthia. And so he really wanted to like bring me in certain retrospects of helping with some of the scenes and certain things with Cynthia Erivo.
Yeah.
So I worked a lot with Cynthia Erivo.
And how was that? How was that
beautiful,
energy? Yeah.
Honestly, she's like a good type of intimidating, if I can say.
Because she's drawn that way.
Yeah, she's just, but intimidating to some people is a bad thing. But for me, it's like, it's kind of moving because she knows what she wants and she sees what she feels and she will express it. And it's up to you to kind of have that same strong nature back with her to be like, all right, let's collaborate this idea. Let's figure this out and let's be patient with each other while doing it. And that's what,
So you built a relationship.
Yeah, built a relationship while, building
amazing.
this, vision that she had for, Alphaba. You know what I mean?
Definitely had
and you were there for a year, or did it end up being longer?
No, I was there for a year, and then the strike happened.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Strike happened with a week or 10 days left of shooting.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah, and the strike happened, and so we had to put everything
And
on hold.
Yeah.
Besides the ones that didn't have to, because equity is what, equity is the union
London
there.
is different.
And so London,
Yeah.
so they don't have the union that, definitely supports them. And
Yeah.
so all the dancers and some of the actors was still able to work, but our main actors, our 1 and 2, had to leave because.
And then did you come back here and then go back?
No,
or?
I
No, 'cause
stayed.
She stayed even after that.
I
She's been there
stayed.
years.
I ended up staying and got offered to choreograph on Cabaret West End.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
You did that?
So I stayed.
West
Was that
End.
intimidating, or do you
It
just
was. I've
embrace
never
it?
done stage
I know,
show
it's like-
before, but it was like I felt home. It was like
It was
perfect. Well, the head choreographer for that is Julia Chang, and she is brilliant because she comes from also a street dance background. She does whacking and she knows Vogue and she knows all the street styles, right? And her husband is also someone I know from the street dance world that we used to battle. Because again, I come from a battle world, so I used to battle. And so I knew her husband. And I was like, what? But I didn't know them. I didn't know that she was the choreographer at that time. The person that we hired on the show, her name is Kayla. And Kayla, we hired her on the movie. And show. So Kayla, we hired her in the movie, and she was a part of the Munchkin land. I was in a Munchkin. So I was a Munchkin. That's what I wanted to be, so that's what I was. Because I was like, Munchkins are it.
Yes.
And so I was part of Munchkin Land, and so we got to know each other through that. And I was like, oh, you got to know her. She also was associate choreographer for Matilda. And I was like, oh, she's the perfect person to work
Matilda,
for.
the choreography.
with those
Oh my God, that
Amazing.
just kicks
and
ass.
she did a lot of that, and I was like,
Yeah.
she's so amazing, and so she was great. And we got along really well. And so once we were done with the movie, or we were on hold, we were on strike with the movie.
Yeah.
She had hit me up just randomly, and I was getting ready to go. I think I had like a week before I had to leave, and so I was getting my stuff ready out of my flat. And she hit me up and was like, "I'm not sure if you're still here, but I wanted to see if you could, pretty much she wanted to see if I could take her place in the position because she was going on maternity leave." And so I was like, "On to do what?" And she was like, "Yeah." She was like, "If you want to be on part of Cabaret's team." And I was like, she said I had a choice if I wanted to do New York, do the opening of New York, and be the associate choreographer there, or do the one in London and learn from the actual team, in the next 3 weeks.
Oh my God.
Or the next 2 weeks.
And for the viewers, what is associate choreographer? What does that mean exactly?
Okay. So to be an associate choreographer is someone who it's pretty much that neck and neck connection to what it is to be a choreographer. You're just pretty much helping the choreographer see their vision. Sometimes a choreographer cannot do everything. One choreographer does not know all styles. And so a lot of the times, someone like Chris Scott would bring someone on who doesn't do his style, and that can be able to, connect with connect with the artist that he wouldn't be able to connect to movement-wise. And so it'd be like, okay, your movement is more connected to that. Can you build something along this line with this? And you're like, yeah. And then you show it to them, you get the approval, and they're like, yeah, I love what you did. Let's keep it. So it's kind of that partnership.
How long did all that take?
Within Wicked?
Doing that show? No, the Cabaret.
For West End Cabaret, I did that for a whole year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's what I just came back from.
Oh, okay. So 2 whole years there.
So 2 whole years
with Wicked and Cabaret.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But with Cabaret, which was really cool, is Cabaret I got to build off of what was already there. But with Cabaret, if anyone's ever seen the show, which is absolutely brilliant, the talent, the head, our 1s and 2s, our MC and our Sally, they all end up having their own kind of choreography based on how they move and based on their storyline and how they're doing it. So even though all the dancers and the talent that are around the circle are Cabaret girls, are Cabaret, dancers, they're all in sync with the same choreography, and I have to just maintain the choreography of what that is and keeping that aligned. But I get to also recreate choreography on our MC and Sally's just so that it can fit them. So it's all out of freestyle base.
MC and Sally, are the leads. They're
the MC and Sally,
like Eliza Minnelli and Joel Gray.
Yes.
So on Dance Dish, we love to ask everybody, if there's something ahead for you. Your what's next?
Well, what's next? I am actually building a immersive dance experience, and it's in collaboration with Chromasonic Fields in downtown LA.
Wow.
And me and my partner, me and my creative partner Zoe Rappaport, we are collaborating together to bring dance immersive experience with collaboration of Chromasonic Field, and it's going to be a really cool show.
That's amazing.
But if you follow me, or you follow, Zoe Rappaport, you'll be able to see the process and what we're getting to.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it because I love the stage show, because doing Cabaret and being a part of that immersive experience really actually helped, I guess, ignite this part of me that I've always been when it came down to choreographing and building. And so now I get to, hopefully bring something like that to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Well, and it always, from what we've been hearing about your stories and your journeys, it does always sound like you're searching always for your fire, your own fire, to take you everywhere you go, which is just such a wonderful place to be and
And your story
create.
definitely makes sense that you're where you're at now because all the building that you've done.
Yeah.
And the way people have used you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are used that way and they're not considered associate choreographers or credited as that.
Right. And you know what? Even at that, of being an associate choreographer, I've been blessed to even still choreograph on my own on other jobs and things, and you know what I mean? So it's been really nice to say I'm an associate choreographer, but also know that I've been brought in to do choreography for other stuff, or movement direction. And especially, I love movement directing now, and so I do a lot of movement direction for a lot of different films and TVs and actors and stuff like that. So it's so exciting to be able to allow yourself to just build and move through that. Because you never know where it takes you. I was this little girl from Dallas, Texas. I was a street dancers, now battling into now, doing stage shows on Broadways. And
from
so
that
it's
to Cabaret.
And from that to Cabaret, who would have thought it? I mean, cheers. Where are my drinks?
Yes, cheers.
I mean, and on that note.
Cheers to that.
All right, who would have thunk it? Cheers.
And then let's cheers to Dance Dish. Here you go. And cheers to Dance Dish. Dance Dish.